The mole is an important concept in chemistry. It's the number of atoms in 12 grams of a carbon-12 isotope. So, what does that mean? Well, it's just a number to make counting simpler. Just like if your mom sent you to the store, she wouldn't say, hey, go to the store and buy 12 eggs. She'd say, go to the store and buy a dozen eggs. Okay? When we buy paper, we don't buy them by the sheet, we buy them by the ream. 500 sheets is a ream. Similarly, when we buy pencils, if you buy a bunch of pencils, you might buy them as a dozen, or you might buy them as a gross, which is 12 dozen. Similarly, when you're talking about a mole, there are 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd particles in a mole. It's just a number that helps us count things that are really tiny. This number is called Avogadro's number. He's the one who figured out that there's 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd particles in the mole of anything, or in 12 grams of carbon-12. For an element, we say there's 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd atoms in a mole. For a covalent compound, we say there's 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd molecules in a mole. And for an ionic compound, we say there's 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd formula units in a mole. These are just the representative particles. Okay? Elements are made of atoms, covalent compounds are made of molecules, and ionic compounds are made of formula units. So let's see if we can put this to work now. How many atoms are there in 2 moles of silver? Well, we're just going to do a little dimensional analysis. I'm going to write down my given, which is 2 moles. Okay, and then I'm going to change moles to atoms. The abbreviation for mole, by the way, is MOL. Yeah, I know, it's not much of an abbreviation. Well, we know that for every 1 mole, there are 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd atoms. So if you multiply that out, you get 1.20 times 10 to the 24th atoms. So that would be the number of atoms in 2 moles of silver. Makes sense, right? If there are this many atoms in 1 mole, there's twice as many atoms in 2 moles. How many moles is this many molecules of CO2? Molecular compound, so we say molecules. So again, start with your given, 3.50 times 10 to the 24th molecules. Molecules is abbreviated molic. Okay, and then we can say molecules to moles. Well, 1 mole has 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd molecules. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and divide it, and you should come out with 5.81 moles. That's really all there is to the mole.